they trap, or where they chill. Before we go, check the snap, where they at? Yo, where they at? Cause come on, a bad, are you?
All right, we're back and we're bad. Okay, so save the best till last. La pièce de résistance. Our next artist is very well known in the West Yorkshire region, particularly for his company that he created with a few other creatives from the area. He is one of my closest friends. We're both Geminis. We both understand each other and argue and get along at the same time. Hold tight, Gemma Andre. She knows what I'm talking about. Give it up for my boy, Tyron Maynard from Chicken Shop Shakespeare. Now, we have an interview with him and some clips of his work. So make sure you've got your drinks, your snacks, because we're not cutting any of this. This is going to be 20 minutes worth of good content, okay? You ready? Here we go. Everybody, we have the pleasure of having Tyron Maynard with us today, the director and creator of Chicken Shop Shakespeare. T, welcome to Food Culture.
Hello all.
You're right. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us.
No problem. It's a pleasure.
All right. So, firstly, how are you doing under quarantine? Like, are you cracking up? What's going on? Tell us.
Do you know what? No, I've got 2 stepkids and a 9-month baby, so I'm keeping busy.
Keeping busy.
I'm keeping very busy. If anything, I'm more busy now than I was before the quarantine. So yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I'm starting to lose my mind a little bit, but it's nice to see that some people are still keeping their sanity.
Absolutely.
All right. So the question that you get asked all the time, and we answer it all the time, and Liddell answers it all the time. But just for those who don't know about Chicken Shop Shakespeare or your work, tell us a bit about that. Why you started it and how you started it.
Right. My work is some of my work is flash mobbing Shakespeare.
What does that mean?
What it means is we take Shakespeare, and I would say we make it more accessible to the modern day society by using flash mob. One of the styles is flash mob. Flash mob would be, let's say, for instance, the first one was taking Shakespeare and we put it in a chicken shop because, we do love chicken. And where our audience weren't expecting us to basically perform, and we started just doing some Shakespeare randomly in a chicken shop. Yeah, and everyone seemed to enjoy it and love it, really. And it looked amazing on camera.
So that's how you started it. When you were at drama school, you and a few friends, including Liddell, Brian, just wanted to create some show reel material. Is that right?
Well, yeah, what happened is, to be honest with you, when I was in drama school, I got told I'd never be able to do Shakespeare, if I'm being honest. And I really enjoyed Shakespeare. So when I graduated, there was another filmmaker at the time called Rob Blake, this amazing filmmaker. And we met up with him. Liddell introduced me to him. We met up with him, and we had this idea that we was going to go out and do some showreel materials. And at the time, we was doing stereotypical characters for myself, which was a gangster. I didn't really enjoy it, if I'm being honest with you. And I just randomly said, let's just try some Shakespeare. This was with my random personality at the time. And we was at a story block for the very first one. We did some Shakespeare, and Rob was like, wow, it actually looks good, and it's quite different. So that was the original first take, yeah. And randomly as well, we had a horse at the time that walked past one of the shots whilst we was outside the tower block, which also threw it off again as well.
Were you in Bradford by any chance?
No.
We love a horse and cart in Bradford.
No, unfortunately, it was not in Bradford. I would have loved to be there though. I'm sure we would have got some better images maybe.
All right, so why are you so elusive? Like, you kind of chose to take not a back seat, but you chose to be kind of like an invisible crew member of Chicken Shop for a very long time. So, people know Liddell very well. They know Shane very well, Leah. They've seen me. But why did you why did you make the decision to kind of like be an invisible behind the scenes kind of member?
It wasn't. I wish I could say it was a purpose decision where that was a role that I purposely took on. It was just a case of, at the time, I enjoyed acting, of course, because that's why I graduated as an actor. But it just felt like someone needed to direct the clips and also the development of the scripts as well. Obviously, I've got everyone helping me as well, but I just feel like someone needed to sort of focus on that area really, in order for Chicken Shop Shakespeare to expand. So I decided I would take a back seat and focus on bringing the team together, working on the directing the clips rather than acting the clips at the time. And yeah, I think, and it kind of just kicked into place really. Everyone seemed to have their perfect positions, you know, and perfect roles really. And mine was behind the camera, either filming, directing, editing, storyboarding with yourself, Tanya. And yeah, basically, pretty much.
All right, well, we're going to see a clip of your work here. Hold on, guys.
Here at 107.5 FM, your local radio station. And now the news. Film news.
We burn daylight. Are you read? Read. Perceive how I'm reunited. I still think the worse of fat men, as long as they have an eye to make difference of men's likings. And yet he would not swear. Praise woman's modesty, and gave such an orderly and well-behaved reproof to all his uncommonness that I would have sworn his disposition would have gone to the truth of his words.
And now you think that you are quite forgotten, thoughtless, chantiferous, even in the spring of love, thy love springs rot. Shall love and build and grow so ruinous? If you did wed my sister for a wealth, and for a wealth's sake use her with more kindness.
Oh, what a rogue and peasant slave am I! Is it not monstrous that this player here, but in a fiction, in a dream of passion, could force his soul so to his own conceit that from her working all his visage why?
And come safe home will stand a tiptoe when this day is named and rouse him at the name of history. He that shall see this day and live old age shall yearly on the big job feast his neighbours and say, these wounds I had on Christmas Day.
Good on you, son. Good on you, lads. Good on you. Just hear my mate Martel to him.
Old men forget. Yeah, oh! But he will remember with advantages what feats he did on that day. Then shall our names familiar in his mouth as household words. Harry the King.
The King? Oh, become Charles.
Salisbury and Gloucester.
So damn yellow.
Be in their flowing cups, freshly remembered.
Well, I'm back on track. Got it all going. Back.
All right, so we've just seen a very nice, lovely, edited showreel of some of the stuff that you've done with Chicken Shop. But, you know, your work's been shown in, Chicken Shop Shakespeare's work's been shown in the British Library. You've been nominated for awards. You've been nominated for an award at the Black International Film Festival. I know Liddell's been working internationally for Chicken Shop Shakespeare. You've worked with quite a few big companies, so you've got quite a big list of stuff under your belt.
We did some stuff for the BBC. That was over Carnival. That was a good one.
So speaking of like work that was nominated and kind of revered, Hamlet, it's my show, so I reserve the right to show my own work now and again.
Okay. That's true.
So we're going to show Hamlet, which we created a few years ago, and it was nominated for Best Short at the Black International Film Festival. Here is Hamlet. I have of late, therefore I know not. Lost all my mirth. Forgone all custom of exercises. And indeed it goes so heavily with my disposition that this goodly frame, the earth, seems to me a sterile promontory. This most excellent canopy, the air, look you. This brave, overhanging firmament, this majestical roof fretted with golden fire. Why, it seems no other thing to me than a foul and pestilent congregation of vapours. Oh, what a piece of work is a man.
You got some big muscles, there you go.
Noble in reason, how infinite in faculty.
Oh, I love you.
In form, in moving, how express and admirable. In action, how like an angel. In apprehension, how like a god. The beauty of the world, the paragon of animal. And yet to me, what is this? Quintessence of dust. Man delights not me. No. No woman either. But by you smiling, you seem to say so. Why? What is it about Shakespeare that kind of like inspires you the most? Why is it that you've stuck to kind of Shakespearean text?
I'm allowed to swear on this. I'm allowed to swear on this.
We've given a disclaimer.
I'm a bit of a stubborn bastard, if I'm being honest with you. If someone tells me I can't do something, I like to prove them wrong. So I mean, as much as I love his work, because I generally do love his work, and I do believe his stories are like universal to today. But more so, you know, one of the reasons where I got told I couldn't do it, so I wanted to prove everyone wrong. But then also another reason actually is how I describe it is a comedian. He can bring up political issues and we almost oversee it, you know. And if you listen to his messages, actually saying quite deep messages, he or she, sorry. And I feel like in Shakespeare, because his stories have already been told, when we retell those stories, he doesn't come across as if we're preaching or trying to, you know, tell people what should or shouldn't do. We're telling them a story that already exists. So yeah, that was another one of the main reasons as well.
What are some of the challenges you faced, I guess, kind of creating your own company and in filmmaking?
I would say finances. A lot of the stuff was funded by myself. So financial, I would say, was a massive struggle, as in the sense of just camera facilities, editing software. Yeah, really finances even to fund myself in order to be able to do those things, sitting down, editing something for so long. So I think that was the major struggle, if I'm being honest. But at the same sense, where there is the struggle, I feel there's the benefits to it, because the type of clips that we do produce are quite raw. And that's just due to limited resources, really. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I guess funding, what obviously this may change now under quarantine, but traditionally we weren't able to get Arts Council funding for digital work. Do you think that's going to change, and do you think that you would kind of pursue those avenues if they were available to you in the future?
It's not. It's not something I've specifically looked at, but if it was available in the future, yeah, I definitely would pursue it. I do think, well, I mean, when we first started out, social media, I mean, online stuff wasn't as big as it is now. We was almost a little bit too early for our time, I would say. Because if you look at the way how things are working now, YouTube, how massive it's gone, Instagram, Twitter.
I mean, you say that, but some of Chicken Shop's clips have got like tens of thousands of views.
Yeah, I think, yeah. I mean, I've got a business kind of mentality sometimes as well. with myself. So I'm never satisfied really with the 10,000 mark. I would always try to achieve a lot more. I think for me, with Chicken Shop Shakespeare, I think it should be really pushed out to the whole world. Really, it should be a lot more. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a gap in the market for black and brown people producing classical text
100%.
or making classical text their own. You know, it's part of the curriculum. We all have to learn it, and why not make it our own? Like Akala has done with Hip Hop Shakespeare and Sonnet Man over in New York, his sonnets and stuff like that. Hold tight, Devon. All right, so in terms of who you're inspired by as a filmmaker or just a creative, like any filmmakers that kind of inspire your work?
Yeah, well, I was of an era where Spike Lee at the time was.
You say it like you're old, man.
No, I don't say like I'm old. Sorry, no. I mean, because he's still about, but he's not as potent as he used to be. Do you get what I mean? So for me personally, you know, some of the shots that I've seen him do in his movies, yeah, I've stole a few of those kind of styles. So my guilty pleasure is Spike Lee, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, there's nothing new under the sun, and all art is borrowed from somebody else. What would you say is one of your greatest achievements in either acting or filmmaking or just being a creative in general?
The team, meeting great people, I would say is a major achievement for me personally. Yeah, just being able to go on a journey with really amazing people, really. I mean, and smiling whilst we're doing it. I mean, that's, you know, I mean, as much as obviously there's a stress to it, it's the fact that, you know, I've met like-minded people, great people, honest people, and we smiled at the process and even look back at the worst things and smile at them still today. So yeah, that's worth its weight in gold.
One moment I will never forget is when we did 60 Seconds of Shakespeare. We were producing a showcase. Well, it was a competition and a showcase up at Leeds Leeds Picture House.
No, Hyde Park Picture House.
Hyde Park Picture House, yeah. And it was the most stressful day. The tech, obviously, it was live again. The tech wasn't holding up. We had loads of tech issues, and me and you backstage arguing, do this, do that. No, I'm not doing this, Tanya. I'm doing this. And then, in the end, it worked out fine.
No sleep, editing the whole night. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, for those who don't, where was 6 seconds? It was we had 16 different actors doing 60 Seconds of Shakespeare in 3 different styles, so 16 times 3 each film, and obviously outtakes, intakes, everything. Yeah,
and they were all judged by like really well-respected judges. Nick Ahad was one of the judges. Hold tight, Nick. And Sam Edwards, she was the winner of that competition. She was amazing.
Yeah, she was.
Well, everybody was really good actually, but she won.
Yeah, definitely.
What kind of work, if quarantine and money and other, you know, obstacles were no issue, what kind of work do you want to make? And I guess what is next for Chicken Shop and yourself?
If for say we had the finances to do Chicken Shop, I'd like to turn it eventually into to make a film out of it, maybe.
Feature length.
A feature film, yeah. A feature film would be, you know, the ideal goal for me with Chicken Shop Shakespeare. And also actually, you know, I shied away a little bit from education for quite a while. I always stayed away from it because I was more interested in trying to create films. But if I could change something, I would probably make it more accessible in schools. And the reason for this is just because I think it's important for us to understand Shakespeare. I also think it's important for, I said, the likes of myself, ethnic minorities, to be able to be creative in a different way. And it's you know, Shakespeare is there for all of us. It definitely is there for the ethnic minorities too.
Yeah, and it gives you such a great framework to work with and be creative.
Absolutely.
Lastly, before we let you go, what changes? I mean, quarantine's changed a lot. The world is nowhere near what it used to be, and it probably won't go back to the way it was anytime soon, definitely, or forever, perhaps. What changes do you want to see in the arts and culture sector in our region?
In Yorkshire?
Well, yeah, in the north or in the
north.
life, yeah.
More opportunities.
What changes do you think we need to make? Yeah.
More opportunities, I would say. I mean, not begging at a door saying someone open the door for me to let us in, but I think we just need to be. It needs to be a bit more open for everyone. I would say. Let's tell some new stories. I say that as I tell a story that's 400 years old. But, you know, we should try new styles, definitely. And
new people, new ways of
absolutely.
doing it.
Yeah. Let's create something new. Do you know what I mean? Let's give an opportunity to other people as well to be able to be creative. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Tyron. You can catch Tyron. His socials are, you can catch him at Chicken Shop Shakespeare on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, or you can catch his personals, Tyron Maynard. He does work outside of the Shakespearean realm, so you can, you know, give him a job, let him work on some new stuff. T, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
And I will see you soon, blood.
All right, thank you. Yeah,
all right,
thanks, Tanya.
Peace out.
Bye.
Ladies, gentlemen, and everybody in between, please give it up for Tyron Maynard and Chicken Shop Shakespeare. You can donate to him. Buy him a coffee. Do you know what I mean? Buy him a coffee. You create that show reel just for us tonight. You can donate at paypal.me/for culture, or you can, if you can't donate, just follow his socials. You can find him at Chicken Shop Shakespeare on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube. Or Tyron Maynard is his personal. Give him a job. Do you know what I mean? If you've got a production company and you need an up and coming director, give him a job.